Hello everyone, and welcome to my guide on how to play Mercy from Overwatch. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a professional player of any kind, but I do think of myself to be quite a good Mercy, and a lot of my past teammates in competitive would agree with me. Please also know that these tips I'm going to give you are from my own personal experiences. With that out of the way, let's get started. If you're completely new to Overwatch and want to perhaps start playing Mercy as a main, I'll cover the basics. If you're looking for more in-depth tips, I've included a time skip link to where I cover those, so those who know how to play her can skip right to them. I'll first start with Mercy's primary fire, her healing beam. The healing beam can only heal a single target at a time and heals 60 health per second, meaning squishy teammates' health will be healed quicker than tanks, given that they are not taking any additional damage while being healed. The maximum range of the beam is 15 meters, meaning you can stand quite a bit away, safely, while still healing. Her secondary fire is a damage boost that deals an additional 30% damage to the ally you choose to boost. An important thing to remember, and I'll cover this later in my tips and tricks section, is that the boost is applied when the projectile or shot hits its target. Another thing the game doesn't really tell you is that the damage boost is only present when the beam is on your targeted ally. I used to power up my teammates pre-match thinking that the boost lasted for a while after I boosted them. That's not how it works. As the same with the healing beam, the damage beam has a range of 15 meters. With her staff covered, I'll briefly touch on her blaster. Typically you don't ever want to have this out unless you're in a 1v1 situation and no teammates come to help, which is unfortunately more often than you expect, since all those pesky tracers and Genjis want your butt dead. This blaster has a linear projectile, meaning that your bullets won't hit the second you fire. It deals 20 damage doubled when getting a critical hit, with a clip of 20 shots. The rate of fire is 5 rounds per second, and the projectile speed is 40 meters per second. The blaster can also be used to deal spam damage on Reinhardt shields and other barriers. Mercy's first ability is Guardian Angel, which allows you to swiftly dash to an ally within 30 meters. Using this ability will allow you to quickly reach a dying ally, or more importantly, escape from danger. Keep in mind that using this ability in the open will expose your location to enemies, as they can most definitely see you flying around. Use this ability cautiously, especially if you have your ultimate handy. You are also able to use your staff and blaster while dashing. Use this to your advantage when trying to reach a dying ally. And something else you should know about this ability is that you can cancel it with a push of the same button. Guardian Angel also allows you to dash to dead allies. Her passive ability sort of goes along nicely with Guardian Angel. Mercy's passive allows you to hover while falling. Using this correctly, you can move a lot more unpredictably and make it hard for enemies to shoot you. And lastly, Mercy's ultimate ability, Resurrect. If your teammates are taking constant damage that you're healing, you will get your ultimate very quickly. Once you do, it's always a good idea to play more carefully. Don't feel bad about hiding if you think the enemy team is about to make a huge push, and when you hear enemy ultimates going off, run. Cut the healing beam and run or dash to someone for safety. As a healer, your life is more important than the others, especially if you have Resurrect in your pocket. A game can be turned around entirely when a good res is pulled off. That being said, don't save your ultimate for those 4 or 5 man reses. Typically, if 2 or more of your teammates die in the middle of a big team fight, you need to res them to win that fight. I'll discuss more of her ultimate in my tips and tricks section. Resurrect has a range of 15 meters and restores all of the resurrected allies to full health. It also makes the resurrected allies invincible for a second, as well as yourself, a change that was recently made, and boy did that make a huge change. Thank you so much, Blizzard, we love you. Alright, those are some of the basics of Mercy. She's rated as an easy character to play, and her role is very simple. I definitely suggest trying her if you're having to solo heal a lower level game. Also my tips and tricks section for maybe those who want to even get better as Mercy. Number 1 is that your staff's beam can go around walls, but for a short period of time. Use this to keep yourself safe, and also provide healing for your ally. Number 2, damage boost your allies who are using ultimates, but only if you think you can still be safe. No one is gonna hate you for giving them a sweet boost while they're ulting. I specifically prefer boosting Soldier, McCree, Bastion, and Genji. But a word of advice, it's tough to boost Genji. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't think you can keep up with him. A nano boost from Ana is much more preferred. Number 3 is to look after your other healers. Yes, they can self-heal, but they wouldn't turn down your help either. Since you and your other healer are keeping everyone alive, it's important to prioritize them. Number 4, stay behind your allies. Never ever go after that overextending Rein, flanking Reaper, or blinking Tracer. I used to do this a lot in my early Overwatch days, and I would get mad because I would die so much because I chased after those teammates. The overextending players should listen and learn not to push their limits, and the flankers can get their own health packs. It doesn't hurt to poke out a little to try to reach an ally, but don't put your own life at risk to try to reach them. If they want healing that badly, they can either come to you or find a health pack. Number 5. Resurrect during an enemy ultimate. With Mercy's newest change, making herself invincible while resurrecting, I've gotten away with a lot of cheesy reses. Whether I'm stuck in the middle of a self-destructing diva mech, or if Junkrat's Riptire is coming straight for me, if I see that I'm able to resurrect a teammate or two, I'll wait until the last second to resurrect them, making sure all 3 of us are now back in the fight. If you think the team fight is over, and if you want to save that res for a bigger one, you're better off dying to their ultimate. Number 6 is to use Guardian Angel to piss off your flankers. It's tough dashing from teammate to teammate, trying so desperately to shake off that annoying tracer, but with some communication and thinking ahead, you'll be able to lose your flanker, or have an ally eliminate them while dashing to them for safety. And in time, you'll master the ability to dash enough to lose that ulting Genji. Number 7 is don't ever hold onto your res for that big 4 or 5 man res. Most of the time, you're not going to get that. Only res if you know it'll win the team fight. Most likely, your enemies will have used a couple or more ultimates to wipe your team. Resurrecting your allies will give you ultimate advantage, granted they don't use them the second they're rezzed. Higher rank competitive is all about ultimate advantage, and it's something you're going to need to know how to manage if you plan on getting the diamond or higher. Number 8, call out anyone who you're pocketing if you are. Typically, you never want to pocket anyone, especially flankers. My exceptions are teammates like Pharah's or McCree's, who can keep you safe while you pocket them. You'll be able to follow Pharah in the air, thus being able to heal and damage boost her when she needs it. Just remember to retreat when she's taking too much damage because you're next. With McCree, his kit provides an anti-flanker type of style. With his flashbang, he's able to stun, then eliminate any flankers coming after you. The same with Pharah, just know when to retreat. Number 9 is to play more carefully when you have your ultimate. Don't ever feel guilty when you need to hide because you have Resurrect in your pocket. More than likely, your enemies will be able to predict when you have res, so they will be targeting you more and more. Let your teammates know when or if you're being targeted, and ask them to assist you with eliminating the enemy trying to pick you off. Number 10 is to take safer routes to get back to the fight. Going the obvious straight path to the point or objective is not the best idea. There could be enemies waiting for you or enemies who will just bump right into you. I've included some footage here of some alternate paths you can take to get back to some of the fights. Granted, it's not every single path for every map, but these are just some good examples. Number 11, damage boost applied to projectiles only applies when the projectile has hit its target. You don't have to worry so much about this for hit scan characters like Soldier, McCree, or Widowmaker, but for heroes like Pharah, Junkrat, and Genji, be sure to keep that boost on them until the projectile hits. Number 12 is to know which teammates you're resurrecting. If your tank died, and if they are the only tank, 9 times out of 10 resurrecting them will help you win that team fight. Knowing who you're resurrecting will always help you if you're not sure whether or not to use it. With all this concludes my Mercy guide. I have well over 100 hours of playtime on her and counting. If you enjoyed my video, please do give it a like, subscribe for more gaming videos, and of course leave any of your tips in the comment section down below for others to see. I enjoyed writing this guide and making this video, so if you have any other hero guides you would like to see, please leave a suggestion in the comments and I'll be sure to consider it. That's all for now, so thank you so much for watching, and until